everyone. This is Lawrence D. Adams, and here I'm live today. Well, live right now. We're going to talk about this right quick, and I'm going to make this short and quick and to the point. Why the internet has fudged up the game. Why the internet has fudged up the game. What I mean by fudge, it means it has messed it up. It has made it bad. I've been watching and looking, and I've been doing this for years. And I think one of the things that people get what happens is a lot of people get the game, but what happens is they become constipated with so much information that they never digest it and they never do anything about it. The internet has opened up the door of the floodgate of information, but we don't have people who actually put action to what they're learning. So the game has been compromised. The real game is not about hearing. The real game is about what you do when you put your 10 toes down and you hit the concrete and you actually interact in the real world. Why the internet has fudged up the game. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I won't even look for this to be live, but this is this. The game has been fudged up. That means people are stuck in the fudge of the game. They hear information. They can hear it from multiple people, multiple sides, cross country, out the country, cross the seas, overseas. But the game has been compromised, brothers. The game has been compromised. And once you realize the game has been compromised, you realize that a lot of people just got a lot of fluff in their head. All they're doing is emotionally masturbating to this information. The game was never designed for you to get it in your head and you do nothing about it. You must go out there and fail in talking to, interacting with other people, or in this case, we're talking about the game with men and women. You actually go out there and you interact with women. All this calculation, all this figuring out female nature, male nature, I'm all for it. But at the end of the day, the real game is when you get out there and you do something about it. Most people, most guys are in paralysis right now because the game has been fudged up because of the internet. The internet has opened the floodgates for every Tom, Dick, and Harry who think they know something, but they have no experience of being out in the real world because the game they think they have is only on the internet. I challenge you, if you listen to this video, if you watching this live, and I wasn't planning on going live, but it popped up live. If you watching this, the real game is when you get out there off the internet, off the phone, and you actually talk to a real woman. Not on Tinder, not on Hinge, not on any other dating app. That's just a segue. But the real game is when you can interact with a woman. These guys have got the game messed up. And what we have is a bunch of lazy guys who don't want to put in the work. Equally so, it goes for the women. They become lazy too. Because no one has people skills on how to interact outside of their phone. The real game, internet has got it fudged up, whether you like it or not. You get all this information. You get all the game in the world. You can hear me talk about it, everybody else, anyone else. But what happens is, how you know the game is real is when you get out there and you make it happen, Captain. I'm so sick and tired of here. I'm so sick and tired of this. Sick and tired of these people who do not want to go out there and get out and actually interact with real people. That's what I'm talking about. If you can't do that, the game is flushed up for you. So I just wanted to drop this real quick. Nothing elaborate, not going into real details, but I want to say this. The game, why the internet has fudged up the game. The internet has fudged up the game because it got people stuck behind the computer instead of being interacting with real people, real women, failing at what you're doing. You can have all the notes in the world, but until you take the test, you're just a note taker. You're just a person looking for cliff notes on how to get this game activated. And what we have now, we have experts at note taking, expert and breaking down this, what this mean and what that mean, but they don't have expertise and experience of dealing with a real woman. And I'm not talking about interacting with her through your phone. I mean, talking about interacting with her in the real world. You have no real world experience because you're trying to look for safety. And that's the reason why a lot of guys jump onto the internet looking for all the game in the world, because they're looking for safety because they don't know how to fail. Taking the real game, promise you, it's about being out there, interacting with real people, having real relationships, not something you catfishing somebody else or whatever the case may be. The real game is when you get out there. I had enough. I know I'm saying that because I come from an era where you had to get out there and get numbers. Go to the mall, get numbers, vice versa. She trying to holler at you. This is the real thing. This internet gangsters, internet keyboard people who want to give you game. No, the real game is when you get out there and you actually deal with real people, real women, real situations. All this phony baloney, I'm going to tell you how to do this and do that, save it. It's when you can come back to the thinking class and say, yo, I had a real interaction with a woman, not something made up in your head. We have more people who are mega minds, legends in their own mind with the game, but they have never interacted or have successful relationship with a woman. Let me say that again. We have more people who are legends in their own mind when it comes to this internet, and I'm talking about content creators and everyone else who have not really dealt with real women, real situations, real things out there. I'm calling it out. Most guys want to get on the internet to get information so they can play it safe because they're scared to fail. Life is about failing and getting back up and minimizing the amount of times that you do fail. But all this internet has fudged up the game. We got guys who are weak, who are looking for a soft cushion so that they can sidestep instead of realizing sometimes you got to step in something you may not like. That's the real game. All this other stuff is for play. And I have to call it out. It will behoove me if I do not call it out, because I have to get out there. I have to interact with real women. Real women. So you can come back and give some data on what you really did. And all these guys are listening to people who don't have experience. All they're doing is talking from book knowledge, probably never had a girlfriend, probably never went through a breakup, probably never know how to interact or how to treat a woman, but they want to tell you how to get this game works. Listen to somebody who has experience. Learn from their experience and not from some book knowledge, in which I'm all about books because I got books coming out, but someone is going to really tell you how it really is. Someone is authentic who shares with you their failures, their disappointments, and not their hurts. A lot of why this game is fudged up because a lot of these dudes are just sharing from their hurt. How this girl did this to him, how they baby mama did this to him, how they got burned over here, instead of sharing your success on how you succeeded out here in the game. You talk to anybody. It was never, ever about just getting knowledge without application. We have more fools in the game and less people out there establishing their name. Go out there and interact from real. And when I define game over here, I'm talking about game in the sense of strategy, getting from one place to the next. When you're talking about interacting with a woman, you understand where you're going from point A to point B. You can be all this macho man, all you want on the internet. What happens when you're in front of a real woman? What happens when she try to test you? What happens when she calls your bluff? This is when you know you really got the game and it's not just in your head or what you then took notes on and what you then studied. The real game is when you get out there and you dealing with real people. This is where the real game is. All this extra stuff that I've been hearing, watching, I see it. Most of these guys ain't never dealt with a woman in their real life. They don't even know how she smells. They don't even know how to tell her to come over and be ready. All they know how to do is go back on their phone, go on the internet, let me read something else, let me see what somebody else said. The real game and the real game in life, who wins is the one who gets off of their butt, get off of the internet and interact with real people, real women, and make things happen. All this stuff is cap. You can say, well, I'm calling you out, LDA. How you going to call me out when you don't even know my life? I'm telling you from experience. When I failed, I've succeeded, and where I'm going next. But all these extra dudes, I'm telling you, this stuff is cap. I had enough. This internet, why the internet has flushed up the game? Because most guys are addicted to being on their phones instead of really being and talking and interact with a real woman. Some of you just know how to get to the woman, but you don't even know how to maintain a woman. I understand some of you wasn't raised with your dad, or you weren't raised with real men out there. But this is no excuse no more. Get out there and make something happen and talk to a real woman. Get off your phone. Get past Hinge. Get past TikTok, Instagram, Tinder, whatever else you got to do, and interact with the real woman. Get her from the phone into in your face. That's what I'm talking about. All this other stuff, it would change your game. Most of you guys have surface game because you never really dealt with a real woman. Man, I know what I'm talking about. What's going on, China White? This is supposed to be recorded, and I wasn't supposed to go live, but since I'm live now, I might as well call it what it is. The internet. With all these internet game, everybody game in this game. I can talk game for days, but until you get out there and you smell a woman for real, until you get out there and be the man that you're supposed to be and not something you pretend to be, you don't know nothing about the game. We need to pull your card. We need to say, no, you're not accepted into what we call game. And game is more than just women, but I'm using it because most guys, that's what they understand. Game is about life. It's not about sitting on your couch behind a camera or sitting on your phone. It's about getting out there and doing something for real. That's why we got more guys, man, clowns. I always said the most of them clowns don't know Sugar Honey Iced Tea. What's going on, Renee? I don't know why this happened to pop up live, and I wasn't even supposed to be going live. But while the internet has fudged up the game, it has damaged the game. Most of these guys, and I'm calling it out. Same with these women. You getting information from people who are hurt. You getting information from people that are hurt. People who don't know how to maintain a relationship. All they are is internet gangsters, internet game participants. I understand we're in the age of receipts, but I'm in the age of experience. What you got to show? What experience that you have? I don't care about your receipts. I want to see the experience that you have. What you done been through. Where you succeeded at. Where you got disappointed at. Show me that. Forget your receipts. Anybody can get receipts. I can go to CVS if I want to get a receipt. You know, they'll give you a long receipt anyway. But the real game, and I'm talking to the younger brothers and those that are old, go out there and deal with a woman for real. Test what you know. Test where you are at. See if it really works. Don't just come up here and digest all of this and become constipated. And what happens is you don't do nothing with it. You are ashamed to the game. You are ashamed to the internet. You are ashamed to what we talk about up here. If you don't put no ACTION to it, action. The real game is always about action. It ain't about sitting about and politicking and philosophizing and who ideology does this and what ideology does that. The real game is when you 1 2 1 2. You should be able to hear me now. Now you should be able to hear me. But most of these guys, all they want to do, I'm back. You should be able to hear me loud and clear now. Most of these guys want to just parade and clap their hands with other dudes about what I'm talking about. The game is this, the game is that, is doing this, but they ain't out there doing something with their life. The real game is when you get out there and you go out and you come back and report what you did, what worked and what didn't work. That's the real game. Not this, you constantly looking for the approval of your brothers with, did I do it right? Did I sound right? And you philosophizing, but you ain't out there in the real world doing something about it. I've seen it. I watched it. I've been in this for years. What I mean, years. You want to see the real game? See a real man out in the streets doing what he really talk about. Don't talk about you in business and you ain't made one sale yet. Don't talk about you writing books and you ain't sold one book yet. Don't talk about that you got women we ain't seen you and we don't got no experience with no woman. You can't even keep a woman. You can catch them, but you can't keep them. That's the real game. All this internet has fudged up the game. You got men and women jacked up because they don't know how to get out there and make it happen. Shout out to you, Founder W. Appreciate that. Listening from the gym, appreciate that, man. I wanted this was supposed to be recorded. I was not supposed to be going live. I promise you. But most of these guys are just want to. Well, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. You ain't seen them do nothing. Check my Instagram. I'm out here living. That's the real game. And many times it ain't about showing. So let me get this. All these guys with these receipts. I want to show receipts. I ain't trying to. I know how to protect whoever I'm dealing with. Because you guys want to dox and who is she? Who's her mama? Where's her cousin at? Everybody want to do that to prove who she is. She fat, she skinny. You dealing with this. How you talking about this? I don't give a rat's tail what you think, but I know how to protect what belongs to me. That's the real game. Telling you. I sat down at the desk. Jono texted me. We texted something. We were met. Promise you, the real game is out there for real. The internet has fudged up the game. It has got these dudes who don't have a name trying to prove something. I watch it and I listen. I don't say nothing. I sit in the clouds like a genie and watch as they talk and say all these things and they politic with one another. And you said this, you can't do this. And they're going back and forth like a bunch of schoolgirls. Going back and forth like a bunch of schoolgirls in the chat room. You said that. I'm over here. I'm out to see. I'm doing this. A bunch of schoolgirls. How you say you a man? How you talking about game? How you even, if you don't want to use the word game, how you talking all this stuff and you ain't doing nothing? A man on his purpose is making life happen. That's the real game. And all you guys who want to say, well, you don't need game, and game in this, game is life. Let me say that again. All these people will say you don't need game. Let me define it for you since you want to say something about you don't need game. Game is life. You need to know what is the game. How do I maneuver in any situation so that I can adapt? That is game. Don't give me this, oh, I don't know, I don't need game. You need game and you wouldn't even make it. Probably wouldn't have made it out to 6th grade if somebody didn't give you the game on how to read and write, how to take a test. So don't miss me with all this stuff about the game. The White White, good to see you, brother. Proud of these clowns, man. And it's not this ain't shooting a shot at nobody. This is just shooting a shot right where it needs to be, at the bull's eye. Promise you, get out there and do something. If it's a young lady that you want to talk to, don't be stuttering. Get out there and okay, what's up? How you doing? You code approach, no pro. I'm not getting into all that debate. Get out there and make something happen for real. Be a man. I'm tired of everybody talking about their man. I'm masculine. I'm this. I'm macho. I'm this and that. And master. You know what? Get out there and show it. Show the world. Because what's happening is we got a lot of people who talk about it, but they secretly been being bent over by the world and taking it with no Vaseline. I don't even care if someone feels some kind of way. I'm telling you, it's time out for all this talking. I'm all for educating. I'm all for educating. I'm all for empowering. But I had it up to here. When you don't do nothing for what's being said, this internet has messed up the game because we got a lot of people sitting on the sidelines who do not get in the game. Get in the game. Get in the game. Get out there. Get off the sideline. Get out the G leagues. So many of these guys are in the G leagues talking about I'm hooping. You ain't made it to the pros. Get in the game. This is what I'm talking about. Why the internet has fudged the game, because it's built a bunch of dudes who sit on the sideline, who are analysts of the game, but don't get out there and be in the game. That got me stirred up tonight. I tell you, I wasn't planning on going live. I was not. They on the sidelines with pom-poms. Yeah, come on, man. These dudes out here with pom-poms. Go, guys. You G-A-M-E. G-A-M-E. That's game. Get out there and take them pom-poms out your hand. Get them high stepper boots off and get out there and be out there and make life happen. That's masculinity. That's being a man. When you just step out there and just be a man, you don't have to worry about, well, how you doing, girl? No, the women will approach you because they're attracted to a man who's about doing something. We got too many men sitting on the sidelines. And I'm talking to you, brothers. All this sideline chatter, sideline analytics, sideline, you need to do this, you need to do that. Show me your work. Put some action behind what you say. Do something. I know I'm coming off pretty strong, but I'm calling it like it is. A bunch of Stephen A's, yeah. Don't want to do nothing. Got more to say. Chatting it up and how you gonna be? I'm gonna tell you why the internet has fudged up the game, because they can say all this stuff in the chat room. You ain't this, you ain't that, like little girls. Internet has fudged up the game. The real game, I don't need to say nothing. You'll see it. The game will speak for itself. my life will show itself. You'll see the works that I'm doing. The Bible says faith without works is dead. A lot of these dudes talking all this stuff is dead. Dead. Thank you. Appreciate that, China White. Just passing the elder day. It's all, yeah. I'm telling you because I know. I watch it. I watch it. They can give you break by break. They can tell you if you smell it, if you can smell a girl's wrist and you can do this, and if you curve like that, if you do that, but they don't interact with no woman. They don't do nothing. Step out of your head and get, I don't want to say it. You know what the next rhyme with that. Step out of your head and try to do it. LDA is the best in the game. Appreciate that, Michael. Appreciate that. But it's time out for this. The internet has messed up the game. Got more people sitting on the sideline and don't even realize it. And this is the thing. The people who are beefing with each other, going back and forth, and you said this, and I said this, I'm better than you, and you can't do this, and you can't do that. Normally when I watch, I don't say nothing. I sit in the clouds and watch them go back and forth like a bunch of schoolgirls playing patty cake, bakers, man. Bake me a cake as fast as you can. Normally don't have a chick on the side, a chick at all, don't have nothing going on, living in their mama's basement, wishing that they could do something, got a camera and a couple of lights, and they on the internet and YouTube has given them a spotlight, and they think they experts at what we talk about the game. You ain't nothing but just a sounding brass with no kind of sound. You ain't got no rhythm. You have nothing going for yourself. And if it was talking about you, you better, if it was about you, ouch. Appreciate that, China White. Brain dead and don't even know it. The real game is getting out there. The internet has fudged up the game with these brothers. So caught up in their mind. So caught up their paralysis. Stuck in the wheelchair of life. I'm almost like a miracle healer. Get up and walk. Get up and do something. Stop all your belly aching and crying. You belly aching and crying about a woman you ain't even dealt with. They done tricked you, brother. Oh, these women like this and these women like that. No, the women you dealing with. The real game is there ain't no game without no action. You can talk all you want. You can listen to all you want. You can philosophize all you want. You can go with any ideology. You can go with this one. You can go religious route. I don't care. The real game is when you apply action to what you know. This the real game. All this other stuff is lame. That's why the game is about them. I've been saying this for the longest, China White. Come on. The game is more than about women. This is what the guys got it jacked up about. Because they're always thinking about what their lower nature and not realizing that the real game is more than women. Can I say this? I'm a China White. Can I say this for real? I'm waiting for China White to give me the fire sign or something for me to say this right here. Yeah, gamers. When I'm about to say right now, you're not going to really hear from other people say it because they're scared to say it. Let me know you want me to say what I'm about to say. I don't know why y'all get me turned up. I put on my little pink, let me know in the chat room y'all want to hear what I'm about to say now. Because this is the real game. All this other stuff, there you go. There we go. There we go. The game is life. Fire sign. The game is about you. Come on, right there. Boom. When you really get the game, most guys, why they mess up at the game, you better pay attention to what I'm about to tell you. You better pay attention to what I'm about to say to you. Blessings, Yahoo. It's good to see you, man. I just popped up. I didn't mean to do this. I promise you. It was supposed to be recorded. And since everybody here, we might as well have a party. What guys mess up in the game, I don't care who it is, sharing it, teaching it, whatever the case may be. is when they make the game about women. They put the women on the pedestal and they're bound to lose. Let me say that again. Why the internet has fudged up the game? Because most guys, when they're trying to listen for game, trying to get game, they have inadvertently, subconsciously put the woman on the pedestal to try to get her. So they want information on how to get the woman instead of realize that the real game is about you. Bruh, y'all ain't ready for this. This is the truth. This is the facts. You mess up because you are so focused and tell me, what do I need to say? How do I need to call her? What do I need to wear? How do I need to dress? What if she say this? You have inadvertently put that woman on the pedestal. And when you put her on the pedestal, you're bound to lose. Because the real game is not about putting a woman on. What's going on, Chang? Good to see you, bro. It is about putting on the pedestal. Your game should be about salute. What's going on? What's going on, Stopcast? The real game is when you put yourself first. These guys, the reason why the game is fudged up, because most of these guys are looking for game to try to get a woman. But Elliot, the first person you need that game is yourself. Bingo, bingo, bingo. Let me say that again. Most of these guys come up here listening for the game. Why? Because they're trying to figure out how to get the woman. What do I need to do? How do I need to do that? You put her inadvertently on the pedestal. She should be thinking about how she can get you. Let me say that again. You want the real game, or you want this watered down version that they can give you on these internet? That's why it's fudged up. She should be thinking about, how do I get a man like that? How do I get a man like that? Bruh, if you don't get this, you miss everything I'm saying right now. Why the game? Why what's the upgrade path from beta males? The upgrade path is when you upgrade yourself. This is what I'm talking about. Card bras, password bras, money bras. I'm telling you, it's about when you upgrade you. You guys are so, when she say this? And when did she say that? And when did she do this? And when did she say this? No. The real game is when you upgrade yourself. When you go out there, the woman can smell. She can sense a man who's about his, you know what? A woman knows when a man is deep down doing what he needs to do, when he's not even bothered by her. He ain't even looking at her. She can't help it but just float on her tippy toes to you like a ballerina. That's the real game. Man, I shouldn't be telling this, man. I shouldn't be telling this. You can't do anything for the world until you do something for yourself right. That's the real game. You've been looking for the game. Hey, how do I get her? And I understand there's younger guys who out there who may not understand. They don't know how to interact because they didn't have a man or a dad or uncle to share how to do that. That's one thing. But these dudes are older than dirt and still sniffing after a woman's, you know what, kitty cat. Bruh, you too old. You should be teaching others how to maneuver in this game. And you realize that the real game is not about putting it on a pedestal. The real game is about you. The first person, I did a whole series on it. Thank you, Jonathan W. Is when the first game you must run is on yourself. Virtually everything these guys do in game is female. Bingo. Bingo. That's it. Dude, bro. They may not say it, but the end goal is can I get the girl? I am not against any man who wanna get a woman. I understand that. But what happens is when you make that your sole purpose, because I've been there, I did it. I'm guilty, so I'm not trying to pretend. But when I made my life my sole purpose, where I'm going, what I'm going to do, where I'm going to take, what I'm going to do, what vacation I'm going to go. Guess what happened? She's like a ballerina. And I'm going to say it again. She's like a ballerina. Can I get with you? What do you do? Because now you're not chasing to be in her world. She's chasing to be in your world. That's what most of these guys missing. That's why the internet has fudged up the game, because most of these guys are chasing to be in a girl's world, and she should be chasing to be in your world. Too busy on the hypergamy game, body count, looking for money and status. I'm telling you. Ask any real woman to tell you that it really comes down to it. She want to be a man. She want to be a man that knows he's the son. S-U-N. That's the real game. That's why the game has got it so fudged up, because you can pretend to be anything on these internet streets, but in the real world, you a Poindexter. The real game ain't about, and we hear it so many multiple ways. The real game is not the end, like Top said, it is not the end goal for the woman. Golly, I wish these guys would get it. If all these women went to Venus at 9 a.m. tomorrow, most of these dudes would delete themselves because they don't have no purpose. Thank you so much. She is the moon. Thank you. She reflects who you are. Most of you guys are a moon to a woman, don't even know it, because you orbiting her. You keep orbiting these women. And that's why that's why the game is fudged up. The internet has got you fudged up. And again, these women, because you so focused on them. Focus on being the best version of who you are, what you like to do. I know for sure, if I was to put Top up here, he'll tell you he likes motorcycles. How do I know he likes motorcycles? Because I see it on his Instagram page. And any woman who don't like that he likes motorcycle, she's gone. Let me say that again. I know that Top likes motorcycles. He has one. And if the woman he's with, or a woman who decides to show up in orbits around him, do not like it, guess what happens? She has to be gone. Whew. Man, exactly. If you don't shine, then you're in the dark, baby. These guys got to understand why the internet has fudged up the game. Y'all got me stirred up today. This was not supposed to be live, I promise you. But I have to say this. What's going on, Triple City? What's going on? What's going on? Domestic. I'm telling you. The internet got these guys believing that what they do online, avatars and pictures on the internet, on Instagram, that's where it is. The real game, brothers, sisters, is when you turn your phone off, turn your computer off, and you get out there and live your life. See, Top just told her, if she ain't down with motorcycles, and why are you riding motorcycles? Why are you doing this? Because you know why? They done made that their life. Here we go. Look, yay. Many there be that have run out of their wits for women and become servants to their snakes. Woo! Woo! Yay. Many there be that have run out of their wit for women and become servants to their snakes. Too many guys are like this. The real game, and I'm going to say it again, is when you get off of these computers, and it ain't about women. I wish these guys would get it. I understand that you want to dip your stick in the Nile River. But baby, the real stick you need to be doing is partying the route. Let me break this down. If you were to take your rod, this is if you were to take your rod and actually part the Red Sea, when you cross over, women would never, ever, ever be your issue. Catch what I'm saying. Hope it didn't go over your head. If you were to take your rod, your gift, your purpose, what you designed to do, and part your Red Sea, and she sees that, you would ever, never, ever have no problem with women at all. Oh, I know someone's going to say, well, LDA, well, they don't know how to interact with the woman, and no one's told them that they this and this. I understand. It's about you doing what you're designed to do. This was not supposed to be a lie. This was not. I was not supposed to go live. I promise you. There it is, right there. Promise you. Most of these guys are so comfortable. They don't want to do nothing. And as one person said, shout out to Abakim, they'd rather have a t-shirt than actually put it out there and put it in some work. Go out and get off of the internet and do something. It's Friday night. You should be figuring out what you're going to do, how you're going to do it. Most of these guys got the game messed up. Why the internet has fudged up the game. Why the internet has fudged up the game. They rather have you stuck on the internet instead of interacting with real people. I hope you're hearing exactly what I'm saying. I hope you see what I'm pushing to you tonight. I'm pushing one word, and I want everybody to put it in the chat room. Action. 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 Plain and simple. Game without action is dead. Action. Put that in the chat room. Action. You should be putting some action. 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 You should be doing some action. Don't be just hearing all this. Oh, it sounds good and this sounds fine. You should be having some action. All this other extra stuff, they got you fudged up in the game. They got you fudged up in the game. They got you caught up. They taking your money. If they ain't telling you to put it to work, if they tell you just to follow me and do what I do, no, put some action. Come back and report. Hey, I want to go do this. I did this business move and it worked out. Action. Don't talk about you're going to start a business. Put some action behind it. Go do your research. Go get the loan. Go do whatever you need to do. If you fail, so what? You put some action in there. Action. That's the real game. Everything else is they are selling you a pill, a blue bullet. They're selling you 5 magical things to do. That ain't it. Action. That's when you know you are tapped into the real game. When you put forth some ACTION action behind what you're doing. Get off of your butt. And I'm saying this. Get off of your butt and make something happen. I already talked about, I had to take down the video for today, 2023, but make something happen. That's why they got the internet, got the game all fudged up. Got the game all messed up because they don't want to do any action. See my phone buzzing right now. We ain't gonna say who it is. Action. I ain't chasing. I'm the one being chased after because I'm about action. Anything else? And you realize that for my English people, and I wasn't very well in English, but I did what I needed to do to get my grades up. I wasn't average at best, but I did get in there. Action is a verb. Too many people are living as a noun. Action is a verb. Too many people are living as a noun. They have no action in what they're doing. That's why the internet has the game fudged up. Because they're living as nouns. Them, they, whatever else, he, she, whatever. You need to be a verb. Put some action. Don't just read it, do it. What's then higher than life than action? I promise you. Let me tell you the other thing, and I'm going to give this, and I'm going to have to get off of here. The next thing is when you have action, then you have feedback. Let me say that again. Action leads to feedback. Then you know what works and what doesn't work. Then you can say, oh, what I've learned from off the internet and from the action I took, I know not to do this. You have feedback. Action, feedback. That's the real game. Action, feedback. You got some kind of data on what worked and what didn't work. You have feedback. Some of you would never have any feedback because you're reading everybody else's feedback and you don't have your own. See, top, there it is. The internet just a distraction for folks with no purpose. Apply the scientific method. Action, I promise you. Get out there and do something. Action, feedback. Then once you have feedback, what is the next thing you do? Go back out there and get some more action from your feedback. I promise you. That's right. They don't realize that the internet is what? It's just a tool. They've been used. Let me say this, since y'all got me out here tonight. Most people look at the internet as the their God. They worship it every morning when they wake up. They on it looking in every day. They're bowing down every day to it. They don't have any action. They don't have any feedback, and they're not applying any new action from their feedback because the internet has become their God or lowercase God. That's why I'm saying most of these people who are on here talking about why the game is flushed up because they are mentally masturbating to the information. And if you're mentally masturbating to the information, that means you are producing nothing. Let me say that again. If you are just mentally masturbating, man, that was fire. That was good. Oh, that's good. And I love it. Man, this is the best thing. You telling the truth and you do nothing. You are just mentally mad. Get your Jergens. Get whatever your favorite soap or whatever you use, your you are just mentally masturbating to this information because you are not producing nothing out of life. Promise you, real game, you don't have to say much. It's in you and not on you. It emanates off of you. They don't even know why they're treating you this way. It's because your actions, your intentions, your internal landscape inside of you emanates the real game. That's what I'm talking about. If all they are, let me say this. If all they are doing is pointing you back to them, you missed the game. Guys need to ask themselves, what am I in this universe to do? They ain't their cosmic assignment. They ain't on their cosmic assignment, right? Let me say that again. If all the people, I don't care who it is, across the world, whatever the case may come like this, come tell you this and tell you that. If all they're going to do is point you back to them, you missed the game. You were meant to come live tonight, LDA. Straight fact. I promise you, I was not. This was supposed to be recorded, and I was going to be 10 minutes, and I was going to be out. Now I'm up to 49 minutes, 50 minutes. Woo! Until you know thyself, you don't even have any game. Let me say this again. If all they're doing is pointing you back to them, you have missed the game. You are a mark. That's why the game has got it fudged up. You should not be a clone of LDA, my style on how I do anything. You should be the best version of who you are. Facts, no other way. I should be pointing you. In the Bible, it says, follow me as I follow Christ. That means I should be pointing you to your what? Who you are. If I'm pointing you to me, I missed it. That's the real game. All this other extra stuff that people doing and all this stuff, you got to understand this. Top man, I really don't want to say this, man. I really don't. I understand there's different levels to what I'm saying. And this level is not the elementary level. There's entry level, and then there's different levels to this game. And it all starts with action. And some people they can only take a tapas or a little bite size, a Gerber, beach nut number 1 of the game. I'm on the steak and potatoes. I'm on the filet mignon. I want you to get it and run and do what you need to do outside of me. That's the real game. You can apply what works from the information, but retain your center. Thank you so much. Facts. That's what most people do. If this has really sparked your interest, I promise you I was not planning on going live. Actually, I had a live. It went live right before this. And what happened is somebody called me. So I had to cut it and come back and do it again. Let's read it. Let me read what this said. You must know yourself to have game because it got to be in you. That's all I'm saying. It got to be in you, not in your big black head. That's the problem. We got most of these dudes. Why the internet has fudged up the game, because most of them have them in their head, but they don't have it in their feet. Let me say that again. Why the internet has fudged up the game, because most people have it in their head and they don't have the game in their feet. They don't have the game in their feet. And what happens is, because they don't have it in their feet, they're always topping over because their head too big. They always topping over because their head is too big. All this information, all these things because the game hasn't gotten to your feet. Allow the game to get in your feet. That's why the internet has the game fudged up, because it got in your head and not in your feet. Get the game in your feet. Step out there and be the man you're supposed to be. Be the woman you're supposed to be. That's the real game. If this is resonating with you, you caught what I'm saying tonight. This was not planned. I really just came back from having a meal that I did not really like. So maybe that's what it is. It was not good. I should have just went and got my jerk chicken like I normally did. But I'm here to tell you, this has resonated with you. If you connected with this, put a number 3 in the chat room. Put a 3 in the chat room. If you really getting what I'm saying tonight, if you understanding what I'm saying tonight, if you understanding what I'm putting down, what I'm laying down, don't just understand it. Put the game in your feet. Put it to action. Get it out your head and get it out your bed and put it in your feet. Get the game in your feet. Put a 3 if this resonating with you, if you understand what I'm saying. You can call me, y'all caught me on this day, caught me tonight, caught me out there. I'm already in 2023. I'm already Jerk Friday still. Yeah. I went to go get something to eat. It was not good. I ain't going back there ever again. I had to go get some jerk chicken somewhere else. I didn't get jerk chicken. I got some tacos. It was terrible. But I want you to get this. Get the game out of your head and get it in your feet. Why the internet has fudged up the game. It got more people who are Poindexters and versus more people who are actually making it happen for real. It is not about LDA. It is not about the thinking class. It is about making sure that you do what you need to do and make it happen. You can sit on the sideline and be a cheerleader, like my brother said, with pom-poms, or you can get out there and get in the game and dunk, touchdown, do your dance, but get out there and make it happen. That is the real game. All this other stuff, as one comedian would say, it's just entertainment. It's just entertainment. If you enjoy this, like, share. Nobody hit this. Only one person hit the super chat. Appreciate that. John the W for the super chat. Cash App. Lawrence D. Adams. If you enjoyed this, share, like. I am about to be out. I'm gonna try this again. If I feel something, if I come back at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm jumping on because I know I got a lot to share. And find out you want to be a part of the like, share, and you want to be a part of the community that we have established behind the scenes where it can be even more raw. And I'm thinking about, let me know, I might do this OnlyFans, LDA, LDA OnlyFans. LDA of the Dark OnlyFans. I already got the page set up. I just ain't put nothing on there. But I might have to do that OnlyFans, LDA OnlyFans. I got some stories to tell. But this is Lawrence D. Thanks for, I'm glad you got the motivation. Appreciate you. I think I come up to an hour. Thank you so much. Thank you for the super chats, cash apps, everybody for giving and listening. You are with Lawrence D. Adams when spirituality and the game combines. Don't just get the game, do the game, apply some actions. And we are out of here. Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. That's one of my summer hats. Appreciate that. Got it this summer. You know, gotta look fly. Always. I'm out of here. Peace. I'm going live again. I'll let you know. I'm out.